The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
We would have had a hard time getting out of there without your help.
I did not spend this long preparing you only to lose you to Elganon's machinations. No, I am sorry. That was poorly said. You have earned better from me.
Okay.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I appreciate you saying that. Couldn't have been easy.
The only thing worse than being wrong is realizing it, but being afraid to change. Elganon's pride is no greater than mine, but he denies any failure on his part, and I at least try to acknowledge my mistakes. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. You work together with a camaraderie it took me centuries to build in my rebellion.
So what do we do next?
Elganon and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganon's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
So now Elganon's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elganon's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens, and it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
We've done some great work underwater. You know why no one else can save the world except us? Why the Inquisitor told me it had to be us? Because we don't give up. Knock us down, and we come back swinging.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before.
Not without help, we didn't.
So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
I can think of a few options, but I'm open to suggestions.
Wardens have run dry. Nothing new is moving in the deep roads.
And the Veil Jumpers couldn't find any trace of Elganon or his archdemon.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And several storehouses worth of food, what little we had left. It's enough to feed the Antam Navy for 3 months. Or all of Treviso for 6 weeks.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanis?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
We've got options for what we do next. Figuring out where the Antam are taking those supplies should put us on the gods' trail. That said, the Venatori aren't up to anything good in Rathus.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Today could have gone better, but it could have gone much worse. We fought off the Venatori and rescued the Dalish. That's a win by any standard. Rest up and be ready to go. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last.
Not a bad view.
That's the second. One more to go. Okay, that did something.
Between the facing gods.
Can't do this without a wisp. Need a wisp.
Dweller, it is whole, restored.
Now I'm getting somewhere. That did it.
Dweller, the blight spreads. My strength wanes. Seek the source.
Thanks for the tip.
You spend far too much time here, Dorian.
This is where all my favorite people are. Besides, I have news, and every messenger bird I've met is dreadful at nuance.
Magister Parvus, it's good to see you again.
At least someone appreciates my presence.
You're our eyes in the Magisterium. If someone spots you here...
Yes, I know. Can't be spotted with the shadow dragons. You worry too much, May.
Well, what do you have for us?
The cult lost people in Arlathan, and leadership has fallen to Knight Commander Lenos. He aims to bring the city to its knees.
But Minrathous is already falling apart.
I know. While the Varantis' attack on the city could have been much worse, the people's fear in the aftermath is palpable.
And the rumors about the Archon are true. He's dead. Assassinated during the Dragon's rampage. The palace has tried to keep the news from spreading until a new Archon steps up.
And no one has?
No one dares. Not with the Venatori circling like vultures. The risen gods are preparing for something big. And for that, they need fear. Chaos.
Preparing for something big. I don't like the sound of that. We barely got out of Weishaupt alive, and we needed Solas's help in Arlathan.
And that's why we need to know what the Venatori are preparing for. Lenos is the key to all of it. First, we stop what he's planning for Minrathous.
And then we find out what the gods are preparing for.
Let's hope it stays that simple. One of Lenos' Venatori associates is often at the Cobbled Swan. Let's see what we can get from him.
We? Dorian, you can't be going yourself.
It's the Swan. Everyone goes to the Swan.
I'll head out right now.
They finally took down the dragon.
We really need to figure out the gods' big... Is this for us? Strange. Wants us to find more.
Rook! What can I get the city's saviour? Come back anytime.
I'd only ever read about Minrathous before traveling with you. Very few books mention the sheer inequalities one sees on its streets.
Everything out there's written by High-Bloods. They don't see what we see. We probably shouldn't keep Dorian waiting too long. Lusker's disappearing from Dogtown. Why? Something to look into.
Why don't you care about our city?
There's Dorian. These meetings can't be good for business. I'm here, Inquisitor. It isn't just Inquisitor, is it? You were someone before that.
Clan Llewellyn. We try to be no one you've heard of. Morrigan is holding a perimeter. We're alone. Tell me what Solus did at Elganon's ritual.
Sounds like you already know.
I need to hear it from you.
Elganon raised his archdemon. Solus got us out of there. We saved a lot of people.
You sound grateful.
Why not? He really did help.
It seems so. He's always thinking about where it ends. How many of his names do you know? God of Lies, Dreadwolf, Fen'Harel. They're titles he earned from enemies, followers, and fractured history. He and I shared another name. Vanan.
Elven for heart.
For my heart. You've spoken to him in your dreams. You felt the power of that mind. His love could burn against me like a bonfire. He seemed so kind, and wise, and sad, and looked at me as if I somehow mattered more than anything around us. For a time, I thought I would have followed anywhere he asked me to.
Must have been horrible when you learned the truth.
How could I have fallen in love with a god and never realized it? Why didn't he tell me? So many things he said. So many half-truths, inevitable in retrospect. And then, he went off to destroy the world, leaving me to clean up his mess.
You mean the Inquisition?
I mean all of this. He let me fall in love with him and then told me we couldn't. Then he told me not to follow, while leaving me just enough clues to find him.
Hold on. You think he wanted you to stop him?
His name is Solus. It means pride. Perhaps he couldn't change his mind himself and hoped that someone else could help him. Or maybe I'm the prideful one, imagining his broken heart so that I never have to face my folly. That I loved someone who made such grave mistakes, that I might love him still.
You almost sound like you're ready to join him in that prison in the Fade.
To give up the world for him? No. We've got to save it first. But after? If there were a way? If he felt the same? If I could leave the world behind and just have him? I don't know.
He really made you happy.
Yes. He really did.
Well, you deserve to be happy. As long as he's not, you know, trying to tear down the veil again.
That would put a dampener on things, yes.
This is all hypothetical anyway. He's trapped in the Fade with no way out.
He's surprised us before. But enough about me. Tell me about embarrassing Elganon in front of all his cultists.
Those missing buskers performed here. Let's see what we can find.
There's Lenos's associate. According to the shadows watching him, he's nervous and doesn't talk much, but does odd jobs for coin. Interesting, yes? I'll draw him off, you check his belongings, see if you can discover any clues about Lenos's plan.
Mostly gone. Warm. The bedroll. It's definitely seen better days. And it's damp. Half-eaten stale bread, water flask, muddy socks, and this map. Minratha's targets. That doesn't sound good. Lenos intends to destroy the city with Blight and Darkspawn.
Carthus. Nothing like an attack to cause chaos in a city. You should head there immediately.
All right, let's go.
Trouble scouted. How do they withstand us?
Nice moves! Your turn! Nice, Rook!
Ready and waiting!
Right, on him!
Safe?
Get ready! Got it!
That's a win, Rook!
Something tore through these gates. Something big.
Trouble over there. To battle then!
Someone follow up!
Trouble ahead. Kill the dead!
I'm good.
More blights in the way. That did it. We can get through now.
More? We don't need more darkspawn.
We're taking fire!
Got him good, Rook. I'm there. That's a win.
Everything's crumbling down here. Might be tricky to get out.
It reminds me of the necropolis, though far less well maintained.
We need to find the other boil. Find the blight boils. We need to clear the way and keep pushing. We got it. Way should be clear.
shadow dragons? How did you find this place? Venatori, to me!
It's a fight!
Do you think you've won? Do you think you can stop the Venatori? Or the risen gods?
We're certainly gonna try.
That one!
The shadow dragons have brought nothing but chaos to the city. Bring these dissidents to justice. That's an order.
Quickly!
That you remain standing is an affront to Tevinter.
We are Tevinter.
Fight it!
Ready again. Not yet.
Excellent coordination.
I command you! Debilitate them!
Watch your back. Ready to go. Got him in position.
Gods demand more!
Good to go. Good to go again.
I'm ready again!
Got him in position! I'm good. Someone follow up.
Need a little time.
Rook, get out of there.
I'll need a moment.
Ready again. Your turn.
There'll be no shelter from the dead.
That's one less corrupt Templar in the mass. Let's look around, see what we find.
Risen God's ritual. That's what the gods in the Venatori are preparing for. These star charts predict an eclipse to make magic stronger.
A ritual strengthened by an eclipse. That's what the gods are planning.
Lenos's documents. They detail the Venatori's long-term plans and what they want to do to Tevinter. All this, the ritual, the eclipse, and the Venatori plans, we have to bring this to the Shadow Dragons immediately.
The Shadow Dragons will be pleased to learn of what transpired here.
Evil old gods, rituals, waiting for the stars. It's about as Tevinter as blood magic and hubris. Learning about the gods' plans is wonderful, of course. But the lists of magisters you got your hands on, now there's the real gold.
You've looked at it already. Of course you have.
Information on their backers, the ties to illegal slavery. Don't you see what this means?
This is power, May. Imagine becoming Archon and using this against those who've been hurting the people for years.
You, on the throne, Dorian.
Tell me that wouldn't be a splendid way to bring about real change.
Changing to Winter, helping people. If we can get something good out of all this, I'm for it.
You've given us an opening, Rook, and believe me, we shall seize upon it.
But how would you use this information exactly?
Dorian wants to use it to crush our enemies by whatever means necessary. I prefer to use it to rally the people. I say we make the information known. Allow the people to see the real justice served. Prove that from now on, we work for them.
We tried that already. Or have you forgotten the Lucanis? I no longer trust that political machine will work in our favor. No. We must get at the root of the problem before they can react. A more forceful approach. Destroy them and their networks utterly.
Swords and spies and blackmail? The devious means you learned in the South? If we go outside the system, we invite everyone else to do the same. No, we have to do this in the open. Show the people of Tevinter that we're here for them.
We're shadow dragons. It's right there in the name. You supported this because you knew the system didn't work for the people.
The point was to work in the shadows until we could work in the light. And Rook has brought us what we need.
May, the Imperium's politics burned you once and you still...
Enough. We're not the only ones who have a stake in this. Rook, we're talking about your city. Your Tevinter too. Which strategy do you prefer?
You want me to choose who will be Archon? Sure, I'm a shadow dragon, but there are so many others here.
Then talk to them. Ask what they think. Asher and Tarquin, Neve Gallus, they're all a part of this, just as you are. We should all be comfortable with whatever course we take.
All right, I'll go do that.